Hey guys, U2.0 here. I'm back with something special for you this time. So, a long ass time ago, I made an episode of how to PvP with me poorly explaining, PvP and just trying PvP in general. So this time, I will do my best to give a bit more tips, explain them a bit better, and start in single player with, well, me explaining everything. So, PvP, player versus player fighting. In 1.9 there are, as I would say, 3 techniques of PvP. There is the reach technique. No, not the hack. Just, it's called that. I called it that. Dibs, shotgun on that. Then there is the up close technique. Then there is the run through technique. These 3 techniques can all be used like at the same time if you want to, or you can focus on one technique and get really good at that. So what's the difference between each of these techniques? Well, the first one, the reach technique, is you controlling the absolute reach of your character. So if you can see right here, this is the ultimate reach. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 blocks of reach. So if I would say attack this zombie, you'd have to stay at the ultimate reach of the zombie. That's the whole challenge about the reach technique. So if I would just switch over to game mode 0 and this would freaking attack me. Let me see if I can handle the reach technique just fine as an example. So with the reach technique, I haven't fully mastered it yet, but this is just me trying to explain what the reach technique does. So in the reach technique, the whole thing is not about strafe, it's about keeping the player, or in this case the zombie, away from you. And that's pretty much it. So then you have the up close technique, which is my favorite and is the one I use the most. So the up close technique is more about strafing around the player. So the up close technique is more about strafe. With that meaning you don't care about the reach, you just stay up close, but you go around them really quickly. For this you need to be pretty good in strafe and knowing what a player's gonna do and where he's gonna go. And well, if you want some crits in there too, you can do that. So that's the up close technique. Then the run through technique, it's not really good per se on mobs. It's not good on mobs. It's basically where you run through a player. You know, you're both running at each other. Let's see. If I put a zombie right here, that would be the player. We're both running at each other. I hit it, I run through, and I 180 and hit it again. So this technique will give you a lot of damage, but it will teach you how to deal with every chaotic player. So chaotic players would be just the people that run through you, and learning this technique would mean that you can counter them. So reach technique for ultimate no damage. Then you have the up close technique for ultimate strafing and combos, I would say. And then you have the run through technique for, well, countering other people using it and very chaotic players. So why have I started this in single player? Why am I not on a multiplayer server trying to explain what the hell I'm doing? Because this is where you need to start. If you're really bad at PvP and you want to get good, you don't start with actual players, because the actual players are way too unpredictable. You start with mobs. You start with the mobs that you can predict, and that's easy done, easy go. See, these zombies are always gonna walk at me, so I know what they're gonna do. That's one thing. You gotta know what the mob's gonna do. You know the mob. Oh, this mob is gonna run at me. What's this mob gonna do? It's gonna jump when it's close. So use the reach technique at it. As you can see. And then the combo technique. If these freaking mobs won't all stand right next to me. Okay, the combo technique. So that's up close and just trying to get as many combos in as possible. And then of course the run through technique. Won't work on mobs though. Let me see. Let me see if let me just kill this spider, it's annoying. Okay, so what you can do though, instead of the run through technique on mobs, is run like right next to them. It's kind of the up close technique mixed with more noobiness. So those are the 3 techniques. Now I will talk a couple tips in between, and then I will talk about some stuff you can do with the techniques themselves. Well, strafe is of course one of the most important things. If you want a player to hit you, easy, walk up at him straight. The player will hit you, no problem. If you want him to not know what's going on, you walk up at him. Last second, move to the left, or last second you move to the right. They won't expect it. So here, I look like a complete noob. I'm walking at him. He thinks, oh, I'm gonna hit in the front. Boom. He won't expect it. That's the whole thing about this. Or you can just do the AD, the quick AD. Then they won't know if you're gonna go left or right, because you're very unpredictable. So that's a couple ways strafe, I would say. And of course, again, practice all this in single player and then start doing it all on multiplayer. So, what is 1.9 PvP all about? It's about anticipating moves from players, but not only anticipating the moves of what players are gonna do, but also anticipating what your move will do. So if I hit this creeper right here, I know that it's gonna go like 2 or 3 blocks back, and I know that I'm gonna have to hit there. So, see, I'm gonna move it back, and keep hitting it. That's why, for me, it's really hard to hit someone who's chaotic, and why I had to learn the run-through technique. Because if someone is predictable, like this skeleton who's not really doing anything, you can just keep on hitting them, no freaking problem. It's too easy. But if you have a problem if you have a player that's going like this all the freaking time, then you don't know what's going on and how to hit him. So, yeah, also that practice in single player. That's like my biggest tip ever. I will also talk a little bit about speed PvP. I think that's a smart thing. Let me just get speed potion. So the difference about speed PvP and normal PvP is, well, within normal PvP, I would love to just crit people, just a critical hit, and with speed I like to use the reach and combo technique all at once, and like hardly crit ever. That's what I would love to do in the speed. So let me just get some milk. I want some milk. He needs some milk. Yes, I do. So up close is what I do, is crit people. Just crit all the way. Crit is my life. And if I use the reach technique, I don't crit. And why do I do this? Let me just explain that for a second, about crits and not critting. If you crit, you have to jump to get a crit. Simple, huh? Jump to get a crit. It does more damage. Why wouldn't you use it? Because if you jump into crit someone that isn't critting, you will have a pixel of less reach than they do. So if you're critting someone, they will have an easier time hitting you. So I really recommend you of going without crits against really good people, and with crits on people that you know are worse than you, because if people are worse than you, then they will not have a problem. They will not even notice about the extra pixel of reach they're getting, so you can use crits on them, and it does more damage, you kill them faster. It's pretty easy. So that's the little thing I want to talk about crits. And of course one of the biggest things, don't spam click in 1.9. Let me just, this spider, I'm gonna spam click it. That's already been like, what, 8 hits? Skeleton. See how long this taken? That took a very long time. And now, done. Easy. That took like a 1/10 of what it took to do normal freaking spam clicks. Don't spam click ever. Please don't do it. Okay. To the next one. Another one, that's for me, I haven't really noticed doing it, but I do know that I do it. The S key. Use it. Especially for the reach technique. If you want someone to be out of your reach, don't constantly W. Don't constantly walk forward to them. No, you gotta use the S key and keep finding that reach point. You gotta use the S key and keep finding that reach point. That's what it's all about. And I just destroyed a sign. This is very dangerous. I'm not gonna go near those command blocks. Or if you don't like using the S key, just let go of W. And usually you knock the player back enough so that you don't have to use the S key. But I do highly recommend using the S key, because first of all, it makes you very unpredictable, because everybody who's just only pressing the W is very predictable, and it's just good for the reach technique and probably also for the other techniques. Except for the run through technique, of course, which is only based around W and a lot of strafe. So, let me just see. I wrote down all my tips here so I wouldn't have just a freaking empty video again with me having a tip mentioned like every 3 minutes. So, cursor on the target. This one I tried to explain like the last video and I did a really bad job. You see this cursor in the middle of my screen? I need to keep this on target. Whatever happens, keep it on the target. Keep it on the target. That's all that matters. Keep it on the target. Because if you keep it on the target, you can click however you want and it's still gonna hit them. It's not about clicking at the right time. See, this is really hard. Keep my cursor on the target. Easy peasy. That's pretty much it. If I would just... This is really hard. If I would just not keep my cursor on the target, I'd have to get lucky hits on when I move my cursor over, which is a point I said in the first video. Don't do that. The cursor swipe, like the going from right with your cursor to the left with your cursor and hitting in the middle, that's really bad, because you gotta be able to click at just the right time. And it's not really useful. Just keep your cursor on the target and you'll be fine. That's pretty much it. So, let me see if there's something else I wrote down. Yes, there's one more thing. Laggers. You gotta watch out for the laggers. So, what is exactly a lagger, or as I like to call them, a lag abuser if they're really good. So, a lagger is someone who gets delayed knockback. So if I would hit this zombie right now, it would hit, and then half a second later it would get knocked back. So hit, knockback. That's what happens to the player. Hit, knockback. So to get used to this, the only way you can really do it is just go on a server and find a lagger and just freaking focus that guy. Even if he gets mad, you will get better. Don't care about his feelings. You will get better at PvP because you're targeting him and you're getting used to fighting a lagger. Now, of course, all laggers are different, but I do recommend one thing. Don't use the reach technique on laggers, because on your screen, I mean on their screen, you are teleporting all over the place. So staying out of the reach, not gonna help, because you know, for them, if I was this skeleton strafing... No, stand still, you fucker. If I was this zombie strafing all around the place, for them... Stand still! Jesus Christ. Let me start over with a mob that's not moving all over. If I was this zombie on their screen, I'd be strafing all over the place, but I'm standing still. All they have to do is walk up, hit me, and then whatever I'd be doing, I'd still be hit. So reach technique won't work on laggers. For that, I highly suggest using a mix of the up close and the run through technique. So yeah, a lagger is also classified as a chaotic player for me, because you can't really anticipate the lagger, and a chaotic player, you can't anticipate those people as well. So I highly suggest you do that. And well, I could go PvP in for a bit right now. I kinda explained everything. Let's just watch a couple minutes of me PvPing now, shall we? Hey guys, I'm back on Cube now. And let me just clarify one thing before we start just PvPing around, having a bit of fun. All these styles I mentioned, you can use whatever you want. If you're good at the game with only the reach technique, then that's fine. Just be good with the reach technique if you want to. If you're only good at the combo technique, that's fine. You can just combo everybody you want, no problem. Well, you have a bit of a problem with reachers, because a reach technique is literally the exact opposite of the combo technique. But yeah, and also don't mind my fighting style. You can fight however you want. You don't have to copy my style 100%. I just explained a couple tips, a couple hints, a couple techniques, and I'll do a 1v1 now. And probably lose, because that's how fucking bad I am. Okay, no hacks, just skills. I think he is actually a kit PvP player. And he uses archery. Let's go then, let's go, let's fucking use some archery. You want to use archery? That's fine. Oh god, that lag spike though. So as you can see right here, I'm fully using the combo technique. Just hitting them and also keeping my cursor on the target. Which is pretty hard with someone who's actually pretty good at the game. So, that was a 1v1 where I used the combo technique. A bit of crits here and there. I like doing a crit after a normal hit. So I would hit, jump, crit. That's what I would like to do, because then I won't be 100% critting the whole time, and I will be less predictable, because as I said already, 1.9 is all about predictability. And yeah, of course, cursor on the target is very good. Is a very good thing to do. You should do that all over the place. And I'll go to map. By the way, I'm on an alt because I'm pretty much friends with everybody on my Utah account, and so then we wouldn't be able to get fights. So on this account I can get fights with people. Let me see. Okay, this one, let's see. Okay, let me just use a bit of reach technique and a bit of comboing, a bit of run through here and there, a bit of up close. That's what we all like. So, as you can see, the moment I and him were far apart, I would use the reach technique. But the moment he stepped closer, I fell out of that reach technique immediately and went over to the combo technique. That's why I said it's fine to use one technique only, but it's better to use more than just one technique only, because then you can just adapt, and again you will be less predictable. Also, this player is a reach user, a reach technique user, so what you do is you use technique against them, and this guy is probably lagging or glitching around because he's in infinite crouch mode. Okay, whatever the fuck. Hello, K-Gay. I'm gonna die. Oh well, he's not fighting back. That's... And he's gonna clean me up. Okay. Maybe I can give a tip about a chase. Another thing I noticed about PvP is parkour. Parkour is super important. If you want to get away from people, it's super important. If you want to get close to people, it's super important. And if you want to surprise people, you turn around and fucking hit them in the face. I'm probably gonna die here, by the way. So, another thing, if you can, just keep hitting them. A thing I see people doing, but what I don't like and what I don't recommend, is the moment you're out of a combo, you start spam clicking to get someone back in your combo. Because when you have someone in the combo, it's really easy to keep them in. But, you know, getting someone in a combo is a little bit harder. That's why people start spam clicking. But I don't recommend that. I recommend fully that you would just 100% of the time 1.9 PvP. Did we just kill each other? Almost, almost. Well, just a bit of PvP. Well, I showed that. Let me just show some speed, I guess. As well, speed is fun to show as well. So, showed a minute of iron armor, maybe some speed. So I said I never used crits in speed. But if someone's not looking at me, I don't have to evade their attacks, so I can use crits for more damage, no problem. Let me see if I can find someone to use this kit on and, you know, try and be good. Okay, that's one down. Okay, you know, I'm out of here because I'm on 2 hearts. It's not smart to go right into that battle. You gotta have some conscience in there. If you wanna die, sure, go into a battle where 2 people are fighting with 2 hearts left. Sure, no problem. If you wanna live, you fucking run away. There's no pussy thing about it. Just if you wanna live, you run away. Okay, so you can also see that I'm not 100% great at the reach technique yet, but in the speed 2, using speed 2, I found that using speed is just very useful. I mean, sorry, I can't talk. When speed 2 PvPing, I found that the reach technique is more useful. Why is that? Because in speed, I'm not sure of this, but it feels like, and it sure looks like, that you have a bit more reach than a normal non-speed user, so using the reach technique is more useful in that way. So let me just fight a couple more dudes until I die, and that will be the video for today. So, how to PvP 1.9 V2. See, that was chaotic. That was a chaotic player. I didn't know where he was going to go. He was looking around. He wasn't really moving. And I thought he was going forward, but he wasn't. He was going backwards. That's what I mean with the chaotic player. So you got to get close to them so you can hit them better. Let me just... He's a reach technique user. As you can see, also, reach technique is more used in just daily routine. More people use it. That's why reach technique with normal speed is easily countered with reach technique on a speed kit. Although you're pretty fucking... You're dead in 5 hits though. It's CubeCraft. Get used to it. Somebody wants... Okay, I'm sorry. Well, let me just find some more people so I can die. And then that will be that. We can kill him. Nah, he's running away. I need to find some isolated people. I don't want to get 5v1 by someone. That's not on my wanted list. So let's... You want to fight Doggo? Fine. Nope, fuck this. I'm not getting into a 2v1 or a group fight with a speed kit when I'm only on 7 hearts. Let's just kill this I let you fail guy. Or try. Or he's not gonna notice me. Fine! Someone else! Someone! I'm on an alt. Why the fuck is no one hitting somebody with a newbie name like Bass1999? I don't know. Maybe because I killed some of them. Like in previous playthroughs. Okay. I do play on my alts every once in a time. just because, you know, I'm friends with pretty much everybody. If I want to die, I might as well just go fight Dex, because he's fucking he's fucking great. I wanted to say good and great at the same time, and I almost said Groot. Wouldn't that have been fun? Okay. Okay, so you see what he was doing? He was the spam click to get me in his combo. Spam click to get me in his combo. That's what everybody's doing, but it's not that good, as you can see. You should be doing it, mate. I'm just here to die. Oh, also, he has a bit of lag, as you just saw. Oh, he's trying to use the reach technique now. That's very smart of you. That's very smart of you. That was the how to PvP V2, more specified on practice in single player, and also a little bit of PvP on the other side, just for fun. And well, I guess I'll see you guys next time.
Feel me like a Hellcat.